So thanks for coming on. Thanks for coming on to answer a couple of questions. So first up is what have you been up to since you won the Insomnia Truesilver Championship?
Um, so since I won, I've just been playing a lot more than I was before. Before, I played quite a lot, but not to the level that I play now because I was like, okay, I've got top 8 at a few tournaments, but I didn't seem to do too well at DreamHacks I went to, so I thought I was just an alright player. But then after I won, I realized I could actually be pretty good, so I started to practice a lot more and play a lot more and just like not only play ladder more, just also practice with my teammates and play scrims and like play in open cups and other tournaments. So yeah.
So you've been spending a lot of time playing the game. So what happened on Thursday?
Yeah. So Thursday was quite unfortunate. I practiced a lot for Thursday for ESL, and I had a lineup which was meant to be pretty favored against Warrior. So that was my plan going into it. But of course, in Conquest, sometimes things don't go your way. Sometimes you get an unlucky matchup because it's just kind of random. And I got the match I wanted, which was Paladin against Warrior. And then I drew both anythins before any Murlocs. This also happened in the next game. So I was starting to get a bit mad at my Paladin deck, even though I knew it was good because multiple players were playing it at the time. It got rank 1 Legend by Neville's on that day, I think. So I knew Murloc Pally was good, just it kind of low rolled for me in this particular tournament. I just had some unlucky draws, and opponent had good draws, and yeah, I just first I got zero freed, and then I got one freed, and in the game when in the second in the losers match, I lost to Yogg, so whatever. I think I could have won the fifth game, but I lost in the fourth game to an insane Yogg, which like polymorphed some of my Murlocs and did some other stuff, and it was terrible. Yeah, but it was really disappointing because
That is
yeah,
unfortunate.
yeah. The casters kept mentioning it on stream, saying like Ness got 3-0'd, and I was like, yeah, it does happen in Hearthstone. Like, it's not that unsurprising, but they were really surprised, and it kind of annoyed me. But it happens. My other two teammates made it. Jumbo and Raven both made it, so I'm still really happy for them. And Ball Control's also up there as well. He's already in the next stage. So unfortunately, it's not a whole Torpedo final. That can't happen anymore. But it's close enough, and I'll be cheering for them and practicing with them the whole time.
So having been on the bad end of it, do you think that there is too much RNG in Hearthstone to make it a seriously competitive game?
Um, in a way, yes.
Or
I
perhaps
mean,
if that's too broad a question, is there more RNG now than there used to be, and
yeah.
do you dislike that?
That's what I was going to mention. I was going to say that there are some RNG aspects which I'm perfectly happy with. It's a card game, so naturally there's just RNG like inbuilt into the game, so it's okay to add a bit more, like something extra. And especially in a digital card game, you can do things like the discover mechanic, which like is really cool. But some people don't like it because yeah, it's hard to play around because your opponent just gets a random card, and there's only so many cards you can play around in a given setting. Um, but yeah, there's definitely some things which are like bad RNG. So Implosion was one, and now Yogg is definitely one, and Tuskos Totemic and Barnes. And I think Silverware Golem is also in a similar category, even though it's not strictly random. There are these cards which are just like really swingy, and in some situations they're awful, and in others they're game breaking. And I don't think it should be like that. They should try and make it more balanced. Like currently we have both ends of the spectrum for some cards. Uh, I think they should focus on making sure that RNG cards are within a boundary where it can't just completely win you the game or lose you the game. Because usually you play the card for the chance of winning the game because I mean the rest you have 29 other cards which help you win the game as well. So yeah, I mean Yogg is just a problem in itself because any player can just play Yogg and it could just kill the opponent no matter how badly you played the game or whatever misplays you did in the whole match or the whole series even. You can just rely on Yogg and it can just win the game for you, which is completely ridiculous and not competitive at all. So hopefully they sort something out with this card, hopefully before BlizzCon, because it'd be quite upsetting to see someone win BlizzCon because of Yogg, because people wouldn't remember how well he played and how much he prepared for BlizzCon. They would just remember him playing Yogg and winning, and everyone would go crazy about it in a bad way.
So
yeah.
do you think a way of fixing this is by doing things like what Firebat is doing, and you have competitions where you try and remove a lot of the RNG cards?
I think a ban list would probably be okay because there's certainly some cards like that which are just like it's just not competitive. It feels disgusting to play against and even to play yourself. Like you don't feel good winning with Yogg, but you play it because you want to win and you don't want to give yourself any disadvantage. So you're kind of forced into a situation when where you play it in several decks. Um, and I think a ban list would be nice. I'm not sure if Blizzard agree with this idea, but recently they did add a ban list to Arena, so maybe they're testing out some ideas, and maybe they can move over those ideas to competitive and constructed. I mean, even if they don't ban stuff from ladder, at least allow tournament organizers to have banned cards. Because currently, if you have a major event, you sign a contract with Blizzard and you're not actually allowed to ban any cards. I think Firebat is allowed to because it's not really a big prize pool. It's just online. It doesn't give HCT points, so it's all kind of fun. But if you actually wanted to do it at a proper tournament like DreamHack, you wouldn't really be allowed because Blizzard would just tell you no, because it tells Blizzard that there's something wrong with the game if you're banning cards with it, right? So then they don't want that because they don't want the game to look bad. Um, yeah.
With so much sort of like annoyance from professional players and from the players that like watching the game, do you think there'd ever be a scenario where pros would sort of agree, even if they turned up to tournaments that officially didn't have ban lists, but they could agree to have cards that they wouldn't play? Do you think that system would ever work?
Uh, no. I mean, it's nice, and lots of players have suggested boycotting certain cards like Yogg, and maybe you have like a little group on Skype, and you say, okay, we're not going to bring Yogg to the tournament because we're going to boycott it. But there's no way you can convince everybody in like a 128-man tournament to not bring Yogg, especially if it's really good, because everyone wants to win, and I mean, for some people, this is their career. So, like, they want to make money and they need to make money from it in some ways to live. So, if you're going to put yourself at a disadvantage to let's say some player who just joined the Open from the home country, and he's playing the best cards, but you've decided to boycott them, you're just at a disadvantage. And I mean, that's obviously not a smart idea. Even if you feel like it's, let's say, morally right to ban these cards because they're just stupid, but yeah, it won't work. Maybe in an invitational tournament, there could be ways to ask all the players to you could agree on something mutually, but only in very small tournaments that could actually happen. Like with say like a 16-man invitational, like Firebat's tournament. Firebat could run a tournament, and I think there could be ways where players will just ban the cards themselves. Like amongst themselves, they would agree not to play these cards, because it's interesting, right? Because it's also something different. That's why I'm also playing in this Firebat tournament, because I'm bored of ladder when I just see the same things over and over, and yeah, it's frustrating. And the cards Firebat has banned actually creates quite an interesting tournament setting, and people are trying lots of new things. I mean, not all of them are. Some people are still bringing the same lineup, but I've beaten lots of people with the original lineup today. So, and I've got a unique lineup. So yeah, it's working well.
So what can we expect in the future from you?
Hopefully I'm going to start streaming soon, actually. So, in about like the start of October, I should move into my new house at uni, and then I can start streaming, which would be nice. I can't wait to do that because I've been wanting to do it for a while, but my internet has been too slow.
The English
Um,
internet.
English internet, indeed, yeah. And also, I've recently signed up to be a coach on Gamer Sensei, so hopefully I can start coaching a few people. I'm not charging very much at all. It hasn't been like officially sorted out yet, but I'm getting on it next week. I'm signing up, and I've already signed up and done all this stuff. I just need to have a talk with a few of the people who own it, and then I can get that up and running. Hopefully, coach some people in my spare time. That would be a lot of fun to me because it's also a good way to improve yourself. Because sometimes I get a bit bored just playing, but I still want to be doing stuff with Hearthstone, and coaching other people sounds like a good way to do it because you get to see other perspectives as well, and I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Are we going to be seeing you at any tournaments in the near future?
There's DreamHack Winter in about 2 months. I think it's in November.
Hmm.
That'll be our next big tournament we go to. Apart from that, I don't think there's anything upcoming. There's there's ESL, which I'm not playing in, but my teammates are. There's also the Fireback tournament in 4 days, I think. I'm still playing in the open right now, but there's a small chance I make it to that. That would be pretty cool because lots of players who were invited, I know them and I like them, and the setting is really cool. I'm currently 5-0 in the Swiss stage, but since only one player makes it, I still have to. After this, I still have to win the top 8, and there's loads
Mm.
of good players in the top 8 right now, so it's gonna be tough, but that'd be really cool.
So alright, you're playing some more games in the Firebat tournament then after this?
Yeah, there's 2 more after this. So, yeah, currently it's going really well. I've beaten some good players, actually. Um, I've got a really weird lineup. It's like really control heavy, and it's tech to beat Freeze Mage, because with the current bans, okay, so Yogg was banned, Fiery Works was banned, Tuskar was banned, Call of the Wild was banned, and there was one other card. I think it was Barnes. Yeah, Barnes was also banned. So this means that Zoo didn't get changed, so Zoo is probably the best deck right now in this setting, and therefore people might think to bring Freeze Mage to target Zoo, and I brought a lineup which targets both. So yeah, I mean Shaman is still Shaman. Even if it loses Tuskar, you can still play Shaman and just kill people on turn 5. But yeah, it's going well. I just need one more win to get through to top 8, and then I'll see how it goes in top 8.
Alright, brilliant. Well, best of luck. Thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah, no, it was fun. Thanks for having me, and yeah, hopefully I make it. I can't do worse than I did in ESL, so.
Alright, brilliant. Thank you.